I was like, I think I got like halfway, but I was like looking at your, because how long does it take to edit? Because you literally move back to forth.
Yeah,
like, with
so it takes me like as long as the podcast is to edit, if not longer. But like,
so I guess it's not terrible.
It's still really long.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna get better, like get quicker.
Okay.
Because I think they're still taking me like probably 12 hours, 10 to 12 hours to edit.
That's so well. Again, because it's you do the faces when you're talking, so you go back
there's
and forth.
3 cameras now, and so I have like the wide one that gets both of us. But actually doing this up here has given me some ideas for bringing it a little closer and stuff. But I watched this other podcast and they only use 1 camera, and then they just, which I was doing, but the quality was shittier. And then you would just like split the screen from back and forth when they do the Instagram videos.
Gotcha.
But yeah, you figure out like, so you pull all the media in and then you just click back and forth to the person talking, or I go to the wide angle.
Okay.
Which I feel like makes it more interactive and more fun to watch.
Oh yeah.
And then, but like loading all the media from the cameras into the computer and then into the software, and then setting up like making them look the same and syncing things up, that takes like, until I get faster, it's taking me like an hour to 2 hours just to like get it. Then I gotta go through it all. So if it's a long...
When do you guys usually post it? When do you post it?
I try to do it like midweek.
Okay.
But eventually I want to do like a Tuesday, Friday deal.
Are you too?
Yeah, I think so. If I can get quick at this, but I have to be like way quicker.
Yeah.
So then when I go through it, anything that makes me laugh or I think is funny, I mark.
Okay.
So then I'm like, I can put out the podcast, but then go back to my mark spots. And that's where I make my little promos. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Have you ever done a podcast before?
Wait. So it's just like non. Does it taste like
Zero. Beer? Yeah, it tastes like Budweiser, which doesn't really taste like... Yeah. Actually, I got a...
It doesn't smell like anything. It literally doesn't smell like...
Yeah, I think it's a lot lighter than normal beer. But yeah,
maybe I can not drink.
There's so we have a new beer rep. Her name's Megan, and she gave me some from a brand called Athletic, and they have IPAs and hazies and I think golden ales. Their IPAs taste exactly like an IPA.
What's the brand?
It's called Athletic.
Athletic.
But it's all non-alcoholic beers.
Have you tried it?
Yeah.
Were they all good?
She gave me like all 3 of them, and then I bought a case of the hazies. And I drank them all. I drank them all last podcast, actually.
Just went through that 6-pack.
Yeah, last week.
Yeah.
Last week, my friend Sarah came on, which will be airing this next week. But she wasn't drinking. We were just smoking. So, no, that's not what I was gonna say. Oh, Megan brought me also Black Butte Porter. So if anyone is not drinking and they want beers, there's definitely Black Butte Porters. There's Guinness Zeros, which taste just like Guinness. That's really good. Yeah, that's a bunch.
I feel like I could do it. I was just talking to my mom about it, actually. I was like, since I started smoking, I'm like, I would prefer to smoke than drink.
Yeah.
And so, but then, good old where we live, it's kind of hard, so.
What's with this? It's so loud as fuck. Oh, shit. What time? I'm gonna try to keep this under
6.
But, does it really matter that much? But that's the other thing. Oh, so speaking of like editing and stuff, Carrie's was freaking almost 3 hours. So that's so much more editing. And then I ran into so many like technical difficulties. Like when I finally finished, like,
was that the one you were talking about? Like when you were having all of it?
Yeah.
The issues?
Yeah, so many issues. And so I was trying to get it out by a certain day, and it took another day.
So it was already long. Then you
and when I went to, it's called bouncing, is when you save it from the main program that you edit in to a file that you can upload. It took like 12 hours to go from that just to make the file. And then you got to send the file through a compressor, so that takes another couple hours. And then you got to upload that file onto...
This is like a process.
Yeah.
Though
I never knew there would be this much more.
But like, it's one of those things you still love to do it, though. Like, I think that's like what's... As much as there's a hassle, it's like something you're...
Yeah. It's one of those things where I think no matter what you when you look at something from the outside knowing nothing about it, a lot of people are like, oh, it seems easy, you just do this. You know, some people are like, oh, what you do is, you know, the DJs just put some sounds together.
Yeah.
But there's so much more to it, or whatever, you know.
Well, everybody talks about starting a podcast too, but
yeah,
I think
I've talked about it for.
But hey, here you are, and you're still going.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just like
I made it past the fail point. I think they say that it's like half of podcasts fail after or like before 7 episodes.
Oh,
it's like they stop because
just people just
it's too hard.
Yeah, burned out.
I don't know. Yeah, I like it's really fun. It's just like it is a lot of work, it's a lot of time, but it's not so much work, it's just time.
Yeah.
But I really like it, so I'm definitely gonna
What if you run out of people? You just bring in random strangers.
Well, I'm gonna recycle.
Yeah.
I mean, most
really
people
awesome
do.
People, so.
Yeah.
There's so many stories.
I have really cool piece of shit friends.
Yeah. True.
Yeah. I think that the list that I was looking through, and I should probably get through to at least episode 23 to 25 before I even need to look to recycle. And I feel like as it grows,
do you have just like a list that you just keep marking off?
Yeah, well, I just ask people, I'm like, would you like to be on it?
Oh,
Like,
okay.
people are stoked. Or some people ask me, like Carrie asked me like multiple times. He's like, when are we going to do it? When are we going to do it? And so that's all like, yeah.
I was more nervous. I was like, I called my mom. Oh, my mom called me on my way back from work. And she said, what are you doing tonight? I was like, I'm going to go on this podcast. She's like, oh, what is that about? And I was like, well, I guess pretty much it's just talking, but I feel like there's a lot of like airing dirty laundry. And she's like, oh, perfect. Can I listen? I was like, no.
My mom.
I was like, she's like, but you already tell me a lot of things. I was like, I'll tell you everything though.
Yeah. My mom wouldn't listen to this podcast at all. Like, I posted.
Did you tell her about it?
Yeah, I mean, I told my family that
Yeah.
I had it, but I purposely designed like the intros and stuff to be pretty offensive, and so like right out of the gate, they're just like, nope.
I'm done.
And yeah, so maybe someday somebody will listen to it and then they'll tell my mom like stuff, but I mean, it doesn't really matter. But I think that is probably
they probably should listen to mine because I feel like I'm your most PG friend.
Yeah,
like one of your most PG.
We'll see.
I know. I was like,
well, I'm pretty like non-PG, but yeah. So like I had some friends that were on it that they didn't really say anything like outrageous or anything, but I was still outrageous or whatever. But,
that's you.
Yeah. My friend Sammy was worried about like, oh, what if certain people I work for hear this, or something.
Fair.
But most people, I think the mom is the number one like worry.
Yeah.
My buddy Joey's just like, I just hope my mom doesn't hear this.
I know. I was thinking it was like when I post it, I'm like, how should I post this? Close friends, just do it.
Yeah.
Here I am, people.
Yeah.
This is me.
I also haven't really. I don't know like how many people sit down to listen to it yet. I mean, I know like I know how many people listen to each episode, but I don't know how many of like their friends.
Oh,
episode, right?
yeah.
So if you share,
it's like,
like,
your
a clip
friends
or two,
listen,
kind
of thing.
Yeah.
But...
So I think it's like, from what I can tell, about 50 people that listen to it.
Do you have an Instagram handle too?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah. So I put like little clips on my Instagram.
I think maybe I follow that. I was like, maybe I just didn't know if I saw it on yours or it was on the actual Instagram handle.
Yeah. I don't have a Nobody's Instagram handle.
That's what I was meaning.
So,
yeah.
No. I might do that eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good idea.
Decided yet.
Well, yeah.
There's a lot of shit.
Well, you're already putting it out there.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I mean, I probably will at some point.
I think it's fun though. I feel like so many people can relate. Oh yeah, that's like my friend.
Yeah. Well, that's just it, because like everyone that we know. I mean, most of the people that have been on the podcast. Like, I mean, most of my friends.
Yeah.
So I feel like most of my friends know most of my other friends for the most part. And then it's just like all of us are just pretty run-of-the-mill people, and we all have our like pros and cons and stuff.
Oh, totally.
But we're all like, I don't know, like I said, pieces of shit. In a lot of ways.
Well, that's the thing is like I love that this is just more of like shooting the shit where you're like, when I asked you, I was like, do I need to come prepared? You're like, no, it's just talking.
Yeah.
Like, okay, cool.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we do it pretty well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that, I don't know, I got nervous at first when I first started doing like photo shoots and like releasing certain photos. And I was more nervous about my family,
Gotcha.
And then I was just like, certain scandalous photos.
Was your like family ever like conservative?
Super.
Really? What? I didn't know this.
Yeah.
Wait, you have to tell me this.
Yeah.
I need.
Like Christian cult all the way.
Wow.
Like what? Like a lot of people say like what cult, but cults typically don't have a name for themselves.
Okay.
They're just, like more from the outside,
Yeah.
you know. Like the pastor doesn't get up and say like today at our cult meeting, you know.
Yeah.
But there was like a select group of families, and then those families are in the church, and then the church started a school, and then you know like the school like it's just like full control. There's like a few families that run the school, and so like you didn't have friends outside of it. You know, everything was.
Wait, this is legit.
Yeah, that's how I grew up. And then you have like so you have church all day Sunday, like Sunday morning, Sunday night, Wednesday night, and then I never went to public school. I was all
So it's like a little
Christian
commune.
school. Yeah, except there wasn't a commune. Like we
But
did.
it was still like you guys were all like kind of intertwined.
The thing that made me realize that I kind of grew up that way was I watched this show called The Path with Aaron Paul on Hulu.
Oh.
And
Is that good?
it is really good actually, but it's about a cult. And I mean it's a fictional cult, but
Yeah.
But when I was like seeing it, and they would be like, "We're not a cult, we're a movement," you know, or something. Like, they would say that, and but everybody else like, "No, they're not a cult," you know, from the outside.
Yeah.
But like seeing the things they did, I was like, "Holy shit, that's like stuff we would do." Like this is exactly like how we grew up. So we just didn't have like the compound.
So what was it like? When did you kind of like?
I like
spread your wings and fly.
split, like in multiple phases. So when I went to college, I still went to a Christian college, but I went to a church. Like we grew up kind of Baptist, independent Baptist. So we interpret the Bible a certain way. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Everything is about Jesus in the Bible. Like every conversation, every trip is started with prayer. Every morning as devotions, every night as devotions. You know, every day you're asked like what you learned, what's God's teaching you. Like all subject matter is all around God and Jesus, and like swearing is sinful, like pornography is sinful. We couldn't go to the movies. We couldn't obviously friends outside of like our friends, or else would be like, you know, you need to be careful because they're going to lead you astray. Couldn't read any like books outside. We couldn't listen to rock and roll or any like non-Christian music.
Like all these documentaries that are coming out right now.
Yeah.
You are living this documentary.
Yeah. But so then when I went to college, I went to a different Christian college that believed somewhat different. And so it was like an eye-opener just to see like a different community that had different interpretations on the belief. So then I was like, like there's a possibility that certain things we were taught weren't right, or at least there's this whole other world, and that's what started making me see like, holy shit, there's other people that like don't believe anything that I believe, but like to me this was like 100% factual.
So up until college.
Yeah, and then even then I was still super religious, but it was like a little more light. And then I went to Australia to this other college that was it was Pentecostal, and then I mean they're pretty cultish in their own right, but then it was like a different thing, and that's when I started like doubting Christianity.
Do you ever like? Of course, everything happens for a reason, but like, do you ever think like who you would be today if your childhood was different?
Yeah, all the time actually.
Yeah, it's just.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way to really know where.
Yeah,
you'd be,
totally.
But, I mean, so I went to Australia to be a worship pastor. And so I wanted to like.
What?
So I wanted to.
This is wild.
Yeah, so most people know me now.
A pastor.
I know, like most people know me now. Like they're just like.
There's no.
Like if you have like your average sinner, I'm like way up here. Like I revel.
You're like sin. I am the sin.
Yeah, I have become sin. But yeah, so people are like, "There's no way you used to be like so." I mean, and I was like full on in. I mean, I never had sex till I was 23. Never drank till I was 23. Never smoked. Never did anything. I mean, my biggest sin was I jerked off and like looked at porn.
But then after that, you're probably like
so guilty. Yeah, we actually talked about.
Please forgive.
Like, the last couple was like so guilty for.
Oh man.
Oh yeah, so I was gonna be a worship pastor. I mean, I wanted to get married like right out of college. I wanted to like have kids. I wanted to be a worship leader. You know, just singing for Jesus.
Crazy.
Yeah. And I went to school for that. Like after I kind of quit the one school in Alabama, I got my associate's degree, and then I went to this other like Bible school to do that. And that's when I started having doubts. And then, like, I only did 1 year, and I came back, and I actually got offered a position at my home church. And they had changed a lot since then.
Okay.
But it was the church and school split, basically like the cult split. But I was just kind of like, I don't think I want to get stuck here. And I was like, I'm not sure about any of this anymore. And I wasn't like all out, but I wasn't all in anymore, you know. So then when I moved to San Diego, and then it was like started hanging around other people.
Yeah.
Also, be nice.
Sorry.
First person to like get attacked by a cat on the podcast.
Russell, little.
Don't be a dick.
Hi. I was just petting you while I was actually scratching.
Russell, no.
You're stuck now. You're stuck with me.
I'll show you after, but like, well, I had not really show you, but there's like a fireplace that goes here.
Oh, really?
It's super. Yeah, that's
Is it that?
I moved it because for some reason it looked a little high when I was like filming.
Oh.
So, it was just like kind of in a way. I don't know. It's probably fine.
Do you utilize this patio a lot?
I have
all the time.
So I have the fireplace, and then I do want to go to those little like eggshell chairs.
Oh yes, yes.
And then
those are the thing right now.
Yeah.
Did you ever meet Yaz and Michael? Oh yeah, kickball.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're getting those. And I was like, everybody's getting.
I just want one. I want like
pictures.
these, and then just have like one of those, and then like of course lights, and little sun sails, and probably a table over there, and lots of plants and stuff. So by next spring it should be.
How long have you lived in this place?
8 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I guess I've only known you a year. Yeah, Katie and I work together.
Together, good old Rudy's.
Yeah, dude, that's actually so. I've had Emma.
Mm-hmm.
I've had. I guess Emma's the only one that worked there. I'm supposed to have Ivy, and then she was sick the one day. So then you.
Yeah.
Taylor's gonna come on.
And then I was listening to the last podcast, and you guys were talking about Hannah and like trying to debate,
Hannah's.
like see when.
Yeah,
I do think that you guys should do the like one before and then one after.
I think that would be fun.
I think it would be good.
Just holding the baby the whole time. No, I will not have that. I will not subjugate my listeners.
Crying baby. Maybe I just have a nice baby.
I wonder if I'll like change my view on babies once Hannah's a baby. It's like I don't really know. I mean, I had my nieces and nephews when they were babies, but I pretty much avoided them.
Really?
Not that much. I mean, I was just like around a little bit, but I'm not good with babies. I'm just like, oh.
I'm like, really awkward.
I'm like, okay.
Well, that's like I've always wanted to be a mom. Like that is one of my end goals in life is to be a mom. But I'm so awkward with kids. Like I
say it's differently.
So uncomfortable. I'm like, I babysat my friend's kid last week, and I was like, I locked ourselves out of the house. I was like, I'm not ready. I can't even get into this. I was like, had this 2-year-old because I was trying to get the dogs back in. I didn't know her house locked. Yeah. So I'm with this kid, and we're locked out of the house, and they were like I could not crawl through any of those windows. They're very strict with their security. Yeah. So I'm sitting and I don't have any. Oh, my phone is also inside and keys and everything. And so I'm like, I don't know. I guess we're gonna sit out here for 4 hours until your dad gets home because I don't know.
That's all you did?
No, I went and knocked on people's doors to call where she worked.
Oh, nice. So then they came.
And then I got it.
So are they gonna hire you again?
Probably not. Well, Carly came over, and I was like, and then Carly was so good, and I was like, oh, I suck.
It is.
I'm like, I'm not. Really maybe I'm not gonna be a good mom.
They say you're better at yours. Isn't it crazy how I wonder if it's like Western society, because like back in the before times, but like hunter gatherers, whatever. I mean, like women are just having babies at 12, 13, whenever whenever they're ready, and then it's just like they're just raising up kids, and like it's nothing, and then. I'm here at 37 and be like, I don't know what the fuck to do with that.
Well, also, but then you have to look back again. The land before time. But, like, usually was, like, the mothers, though. Like, you guys were off gathering some meat.
I was off raping.
Stuff, yep. Yeah. Not too. So, pretty much.
I was probably off getting raped.
Savages. But then that goes back to, like, just the motherly instinct.
Yeah, for sure.
But I don't think I have it. Even though I want it.
Well, if you want it, that's typically the instinct, Like,
well, I know I'm gonna have postpartum. Like even my dog, I like worry that we don't have a connection sometimes. I'm like, am I gonna feel that with my kid? I'm gonna have this kid and I'm gonna like, this is not my kid. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? I freak. That is like one of my scary, like, I've talked to my counselor about that. I was like, I think just like my child's not gonna know me or want to know me.
I've thought about many reasons why I don't want to have a kid, and that's definitely one of them.
Really?
Also, like, okay, so you spend say you're like just obsessed with your kid, you know, through its early age, like, oh, it's just a little angel and you daddy's little boy, you know, whatever, and the whole thing, and you're just so stoked and the whole way up, and then it's like 14 and he's just like, I hate you. And that like happens to so many people. Yeah. And you have to go through this like how many years do you have to go where you're just like, I've put in like my heart and soul in life, and now he's just like shitting on everything, and like everything that I did was wrong. And,
like I tried.
Yeah. Like I don't like, how do you handle that? Like,
well, that's what I was just thinking when you were saying. I'm like, you're literally like, they're in your house for 18 years. I'm like 27.
I've never even had a living girlfriend.
18 years? That's so long. Never had a living girlfriend.
I've had a roommate for probably 5 years. That's like the longest I've lived with anyone, minus my own family growing up. Yeah.
God, that was a freaking long
time. Dude, it's too bored with people. Like, how am I gonna... Yeah.
How am I going? I hate entertaining, and I'm like the worst host.
I'm sure it's different. I was like, what do you have?
Yeah, I was like, everybody that's a parent. It's great.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, we can start, I hope.
It is funny. Have you ever met those parents that are really like pretty honest with their like feelings? They're like, honestly, I would, if I could go back, I would have had it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do like, because not everyone. Obviously, there's plenty of parents that like, no matter what, I love this child so much, and no matter the hardship, I prefer it. But there are those ones that are just like, no, if I went back, I would definitely not have done this.
Well, I was reading like an article about like how just like, I guess kind of more like the generation like 20s, probably 30s, and like now a lot of people are not wanting kids because they want to travel, they want to do this, and it's becoming such a more normal thing. Yeah. And so I'm curious like what its population decline of like, because I don't know, it's hard because I'm like, I think about it and I don't want my life to change at all. And I think that's a separation of my friend groups right now, because I'm like, I have those friends that are just parents, fiance, parents, married, and I'm like, oh, you guys are so boring now. I love y'all, but boring.
There are my sister talks about some parents that she knows that are like so fun still, and they're like, we don't let them hold us back, and they're doing all this stuff, but that's really rare. And but I mean, I feel like sometimes even couples do that, you know, like you have to be very intentional but not do that.
Exactly.
Because the couples just like, they link up, and then all of a sudden they're just watching Netflix on the couch like every single day, and they don't have any friends anymore, you know, whatever.
I feel that. I used to be like that with one of my exes. It was just like,
almost everybody does. Right?
Yeah, because just be so comfortable. But then you're like, I only want to hang out with you. Right. And then I lose my independency though. Yeah. So I'm like, now I'm more aware of it. Yeah. But I
mean, I think everyone you have to go through like the, it's almost like practice relationships to learn like the things to not do on the next relationship. But yeah, that's what I wonder about. There are some relationships that it's the first one and it works out forever, but that's pretty rare. And it's just like, how do you expect somebody to be good at anything the first time? It's like expecting my first podcast to just go without a hitch. Yeah. It's like, no, you got to do 50, 100. Yeah. Like, so to just be like, yeah, your first relationship, I'm sure she's the one. Like, what? So in some ways, you're just like, yeah, you should probably have a few relationships and just get used to like getting better at it.
Like learn. Yeah. My mom always tells me because I'm just like dating around. Yeah. And I'm like, dates are just awkward. Well, especially when you meet them on like a dating app. Yeah. And so she's like, look at us at an interview. Just like, you're only going to get better. And I'm like, all right, that's fair. Yeah. But
do you have any ones that aren't awkward, or are they all awkward? Like from an app? I like to think that mine are pretty good, but then that's just my own.
I feel like I leave
perspective.
I feel very confident leaving, but I don't know.
I hear stories of you hear stories about the terrible.
I've never had somebody ghost me or either what is it? Catfish.
Oh,
I've never had a catfish.
Oh, I've had catfish.
I feel like guys get more catfish than girls.
Yeah, I don't understand catfishing because it's like.
Was it like serious catfish, or was it like old photos that you're like?
No, it was like you looked like you were 140 pounds and you were like 220.
Oh, so
one of those.
Gotcha.
And when I look back at the photos, I did realize it's like these angles, like no body, it's just the face and just like certain angle or that sort of stuff. But yeah, but
girls are tricky.
I saw one.
We're creative. We are creative individuals.
But I don't understand that. I do understand making yourself look as good as possible in a photo, right?
Yeah. Of course.
However, if you know that that's not what you look like in the mirror, you're just setting yourself up to disappoint the other person. Why would that help you?
That's for me though. I think that's a scare for me because I post normal photos. You've seen my dating app, and didn't swipe. You can swipe right.
I don't swipe right.
I know you know. I know we talked about this, but but those photos, I'm like, even those that are me and that's what I look like, I still get terrified that I'm gonna show up and they're gonna be like, oh, you don't look like I don't know, because those are your best photos that you want to highlight. And so
I have this philosophy that I try to make my photos 10% to 15% better than I look like in real life, because I, as a guy, need to put else I don't get swipes at all.
Whatever.
I'm not kidding. I had Tinder for I've had Tinder for I don't know 6 years, 7 years.
Yeah.
And I had periods of times where I wouldn't get a single match for months. Versus I know girls. I know. And it's just I know that I'm not terrible looking dude. I know that I'm good looking.
Yeah.
And so it's weird that I'm not, but when I see girls swiping, I realize that if I watch a girlfriend of mine swipe, it's just no, yeah, no, I could see how mine is just
oh,
you just there's so many dudes and there's so many moderately good looking dudes and there's and there's tons of terrible looking, but regardless, girls, if you're moderately good looking, it's as soon as you swipe right, it's match, swipe right, match all the time. It is not that way. And because girls are just left, because if I match them, they're immediately gonna start talking. So now you have 100 people in your inbox blah 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 blah. Hey.
Yeah.
And then it becomes overall. I've talked to Emma and Ivy about this. It's overwhelming. It's overwhelming.
What's your age range on your?
It's 18 to 75, I think.
The whole anybody that is living and breathing.
No,
right now.
I actually go back and forth with I'll move it up. I'll be let's try 25 to 35.
Oh, okay.
And then I'll be this isn't working. I'm gonna go 19 to 40. So I kind of move it back and forth. But I used to have this rule: I wouldn't date under 21, which I pretty much stick to that. So I'm I want to go to have a drink.
Oh, okay.
But at the same time, if some 20-year-old's into me and wants to fuck, I'm yeah, sure.
Wait, what's the youngest you've have you fucked an 18-year-old?
Not in a very long time. No.
Back when I was younger.
No. Well, I dated Natty.
Yeah.
She was I don't know if she was 20 when we started. No, I don't think she was 20 when we started fucking, but she was 21.
Wait, what'd you say? What's her name?
Natasha. Natty.
I was and I pull in that. No.
Oh yeah.
No,
So she's in my phone as Natty. She was Natty Ice in my phone.
I love it.
Yeah,
okay.
That's pretty funny. But yeah, there was I think it was when I turned 30.
Oh, okay.
Because I was in my 20s would fuck 18-year-olds. But then I was just when I turned 30, I was I shouldn't. And it was just more of a stigma. I was I gotta change it. So I took it because when I worked at P.F. Chang's, it was the hostesses.
Yeah.
18. I had no issue. And then it was just this point, I was okay, I cannot keep going after hostesses.
Dude, I was telling Hannah today at work, I was I feel uncomfortable because I was like, should I even say? I was like, I don't freaking care. Catcher. I was like, he's a freaking good looking individual. Yeah. And I'm like, illegal.
Yeah.
Illegal.
You know what? That's
and I'm
crazy.
like, but he also looks older for his age. Yeah. Give me that. Give me some credit here, guys. But no, seriously. So I'm like, but I was like, he's such a good guy. Like, very nice.
Yeah. He's a catch. Sure.
He's a catch. Yes.
You know what's crazy too is because there's there is certain things that girls can get away with that guys can't. And there's a certain point of time where I would not even talk to the hostesses because I'm just like, nope, I don't even want to have like somebody giving me shit about it or like the look. And there was some kid who was like 15. Oh, it was Noah. And there was this chick. She was just like, Noah, you look so cute. And I was just like, he's 15. And I was giving her shit about it. And she's like, I didn't mean like that. But I was like, you know that if there was a 15-year-old backwaiter girl, I could not just be like, you look really cute. Like, no one would be okay with that. Like, I'd be like, what the fuck, Josh, right? Yeah. But like, girls are just like, you look so cute
we go
today.
Or girls.
Yeah. Or like, you hear all the stories of like the hot teacher that's like, like everyone's like, it's fine, you know. But like,
usually, it's like, I know, it's usually like, dang, get a girl.
I think actually Bill Burr has like a whole bit on that, but yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's just like,
wait, what's his name? Bill
Burr, he's a comedian, but I think it's him, maybe it's somebody else, but they're just talking about, they're like, if some 16-year-old is getting like a statutory raped by their hot-ass 20-year-old teacher, everybody's like, shut the fuck up, man, just go do the thing that we all wanted to do.
Hey.
But then like,
have you ever hooked up with a teacher?
No.
Oh, I
don't think so.
Hooked up with my college professor.
That's everyone's fantasy.
And a college professor prior to him being my college professor.
Oh, okay.
Hey.
Yeah.
It was fun.
I'm trying to think of the most. There was like one, never like teachers or anything, but there was this. I fucked like a manager, but it was after they were a manager.
Oh, okay.
So, but it was always like she was always just like the unattainable, like the cunt. She's the manager. It's like, fuck, man. And then we ended up fucking later, and I was like, it's not as fun now that you're not my manager.
Like, you're not bending the rules.
Yeah, there is something about bending the rules. People really turn to you.
So there was this guy that I was talking to. It was way when I was younger. He was like, I think I was 17 or 18. No, I was 18. I was of age. He was older. I think, I was. I was 18. Yeah. It was 18 and 19. And he was the manager at Cabela's. Yeah. And me and him just were hanging out. And I guess they got found out and he got fired.
Yeah.
And I felt so bad because I knew it was because of me. And I felt like such a shitty human being. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry.
See, there is...
It was for the best for him.
Yeah.
He just better things.
Yeah. There's this thing that happens where, like, in P.F. Chang's, the managers weren't even allowed to hang out with the employees. And I thought it's a bit ridiculous. But at the same
corporate.
time, it's corporate. You have to draw the line somewhere, and then you end up getting the favoritism and all the stuff, right?
Totally.
So I understand the rules on it, but it's still so annoying. And so you have like a good manager that just gets fired because he smoked weed or hung out with
That's why.
Yeah, so chill.
So great. It's like the best. Like,
yeah.
It's, of course, there's the ups and downs, but like, that's why I still work there. I'm like, well, it's mostly because of everybody that works there. Mostly.
I thought you pointed at me. I was like, we don't even work together.
I know, we don't. We don't. Sometimes go in Fridays.
But yeah, it would be better if there was like a thing. I don't know. Like I used to, like when you get a manager that's promoted up. So I had friends of mine that are promoted up.
Oh, so you guys can...
yeah, well, that's what they would say.
Yeah,
you know?
You're like,
and it's like some of them abided by the rule and they stopped hanging out with me. And then...
they really?
Yeah, well, that
was some shitty friends. Yeah, like those were not friends.
But then the one that did, it was just like, I'm like, are you seriously going to stop kicking it with me? You know, and he's like, no.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just like, going to keep on
How do you expect that?
It's so stupid. It's so stupid.
Well, that's when I applied in college. I was trying to get into an internship at like the police department, and they're like, "Oh, do you know anybody that like partakes in smoking weed?"
Yeah.
And I was like, at the time, only knew one person that did. And so I was like, yeah, like my best friend does. And they're like, well, will you be willing to like stop talking to them since, you know, they partake in illegal drugs? And I was like, no, like, sorry, she's been my friend since 2nd grade. I'm not going to just be like, bye. Didn't get the internship.
When I lived in San Diego, I had this friend Angela, and I actually always wanted to fuck Angela.
Did you not?
No, she's the one I never got. But we
one that got away.
We made out one time, and I thought we were gonna fuck. Like I was like, it's a matter of time. So we like made out. This is actually,
I'm ready.
I haven't thought about this in a long time, but regardless, the point of the main point of the story was like she's just working for some company that wasn't really have anything to do with like government, but then they would contract for the government, and then all of a sudden she's like, yeah, I think I'm gonna apply to be an agent, like a DEA agent. And I was like, wait, what? And she's like, yeah, so my company works here and blah blah blah. And then then they got like brought in or something, and then all of a sudden she's like a DEA agent. But like
that is insane.
I mean, it's not all of a sudden, it took like years. But she like came in, like she would come to my house. It was like she recorded some music at my house one time, and we hung out a lot. Like she was
I have so many drugs.
So I would like have a bong, and she's just like, Josh. I was like, what?
This
is my house.
Yeah, and she's just like, know me.
She's like, well, can you put it like you have to put that away next time? And I was like, no. I was like, I don't like you. What?
What do you want? That's funny you say DEA. My mom worked for DEA.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. And she's the biggest pothead I know.
That's wild.
She's the one she's like sends me stuff and I'm like, thanks, Mom.
I'm sure that Angela just would say like, no, I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, it's San Diego, dude. Everyone smokes weed.
Oh. I feel like there's so many, like, there's loopholes. I feel like a lot of people in the feds, there has to be like at least half that smoke.
Yeah.
Even more.
Angela was one that like did get away, but like she was so hot. But I felt like I never had a chance. I was like trying, never had a chance. And like we would go out. She would get any guy she wants. And like this is when I was not pulling girls. So it was like 24 maybe. Okay. So like not even good at sex, like barely even had sex, etc. Just like getting my footing into like what it means to be like a confident person.
Yeah.
I was still like playing a band, but I was like ugly and like kind of weird looking. And then I was living in Pacific Beach, and it's all like beach bros that are like strong and handsome and blah blah blah. So yeah, my chances were just fucking nil.
You're like,
but you know, so you go out to these bars, there's like all these hot girls, and I just have no chance. But we would go out and just like see guys just fawn over Angela and stuff. But there was this one time we played this show, and it was the first time that she saw me play, and it was just like light bulb. Like
really,
like, after the show, like she's just like, "Oh my god, you were so good," and like I just felt this energy.
We all love some musicians in our lives.
Yeah, and it was just like you finally saw me in this limelight, and we killed it, and blah blah blah. And so then we went out after, and then we're like making out on the couch, and it was just
you're like, I'm ready.
I was like, this is the first, and I was like, oh, this is gonna happen, yeah. But
no. She shut you down.
No, we just like made out. We were on a friend's couch, and then she's like,
maybe it was like the time. It was maybe if you guys were somewhere. Oh,
you're right. But then I was just like, okay, well, it'll happen again. So then I was like, well, let's go get drinks, and then it just like fizzled, and then I started dating somebody or something. Yeah, I forget that. But
Angela.
She's like married with kids now.
Cheers to you. Cheers to marriage.
Yeah, it's probably miserable. No,
dude, I was gonna bring that up when we were talking about the babies. So my ex, so he's older. I think he's 46, 47.
Yeah.
Anyway, so when I had met him, he was about to get a vasectomy.
Yeah.
And then he worded it in a way that made me feel so great. But he was like, I think everything happened for a reason because I couldn't find like my insurance card, and then like my appointment got canceled. And then he met me, and I obviously want kids. I want to be a mom. And so he was like, I think everything happened for a reason. So I never got a vasectomy. Well, the girl he's with now guess what? Priggers.
Oh, shit.
And I was like, it's only because of me.
Yeah.
But it goes back to the marriage. I'm like, have fun with that because he is going to cheat on you.
Yeah.
He is not a good man.
Yeah.
Your guys' marriage will fail.
Yeah. I feel
all the best. I hope you guys make it. But
it's so crazy how, like, I mean, I'm so jaded. Like, I'm just like, the reason why I'm like that, the way I am, and like, I don't believe in monogamy, but I'm like, okay, but like I swear, every single time I see a relationship's like cheating, blah, 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 blah. And, you know, everyone points to somebody like, what about that? I'm like, okay, there's like one, you know.
Yeah.
But just like,
do you just like don't
the
think there's like, not that, I hate saying like, oh, everybody has that person. Because the numbers that doesn't match up. Like, you know, statistically that's inaccurate.
Mine's probably in like North Korea.
Yeah. You know? Or something like that. But you don't I don't know, even, or they're dead because the number, your person died already. Like, the numbers just don't match up with the population. But is it like, for you, is it, you don't think that, okay, give me your view of monogamy. Because it's like, what is it that you don't think that?
I just think it's unlikely that most people actually are capable of achieving it, first off.
Is it more of sexual needs or is it more of like physical needs?
Yeah, I mean, most likely sexually, because I mean, I do think that people, if you could get rid of the sexual nature or like the sexual infidelity, people probably would last a lot longer, you know? Like, so if you took out cheating, it'd be like they're a dope person. Is it overheating? God damn it.
Is it?
I don't know. It's just doing like it says repairing my file. No, maybe it should be working.
That's fine.
As long as these are on. Is it still going?
Well, I was like just thinking, so there was a...
Oh, no, it's good. Yep.
I've had one threesome, and it was with a married couple.
Oh, yeah.
But I think it was, I honestly...
Do I know it's married couple or you're...
No, you don't. No, you don't. Sorry, nope. But, no, I was just like... I think I actually felt bad for the girl because I don't think she really wanted to.
Yeah.
And
so that's always a bummer.
It made me feel uncomfortable like towards the end because I had hooked up with them like a few times. Yeah. And I think towards the end I was like, because I don't think I'm like I read her enough that I was like, she's not wanting to do this. It was pure him. And it was ironically, I was thinking about it, I was like, am I going to talk about this on the podcast today? And here we are. But he messaged me today out of the blue. I do not talk to him ever. And he messaged me and he was like,
see, fate knew we were podcasting.
Holly, it's seriously. And his message way up to, sorry, Kitty. Oh, you're sleeping.
That's so cute.
Oh, sorry. Oh, okay, wait. I'll read this message to you.
That's
he says, I was like, what? Show me your boobs if you love the Mariners. And I said, well, I don't. So.
Oh, my God.
He was like, you can just show him anyway. I'm like,
how many girls did you send that to?
Gross. But that goes back to the sexual needs. It's.
Yeah, so
I feel like once you,
there's this girl that I read a lot about, or read from. Her name, I'm going to draw a blank, but she has 2 books. One's called Mating in Captivity. Okay. And I'm not going to remember the other one, but it's not necessarily about monogamy versus non.
Yeah.
But she's a relationship therapist, and she's like so smart. Like, she's one of the smartest people in relationships I've like ever listened to. Mm-hmm. And she's like traveled all over the world. She grew up in like somewhere else in Europe. So like that's the one thing, is like American view of relationships are way different than French view of relationship, or you know, so we just get in this like idea of what we think relationships are or love or whatever. Then you go to another country and you realize it's different, you know. So like we just think, oh, of course it's the same with like religion. It's like, oh yeah, it's this one. And then when you start meeting people, if you travel, you're just like, oh shit, there's other ways to do things, right? So she brings a lot of like that's all this like world perspective of like, they do this over here or they do this here. But the point that she brought up that I really like was she's just like, even our view of love has evolved very rapidly over the last 100 years. So, or marriage, sorry. Like, marrying for love was not a thing in the past. You know, it was always like property. Well, then it became, you know, like in the, what do you call those, like, times, like peasants and kings and whatever.
Oh, okay.
You're marrying for like property and like the
Medieval
loyalty.
time.
But even in the like lower class, like you're marrying for like babies, you know, you're like security.
Yeah.
Like even in the 1900s, it's like you're marrying
That's
for
true.
like security, for like someone, you need kids to help with your farm, right? So you're like, and then your options are different. So you have a small town or whatever like that. But it was like, you didn't marry for your, like, a best friend.
Yeah.
You had best friends elsewhere. And it's like only a new thing where we're like, well, they need to be my best friend and they need to only want to have sex with me and all other girls are trash. You know, like we have this like high expectation.
Yeah.
And she's just like, that just like really like logistically can't happen from one person for all these things. So I do feel like, yeah, take sex out of it. Like, can I be friends with David forever? Yes. Well, like for sure, like you can have something forever, but it typically like spending this amount of time like close to somebody, there's, you know, it always becomes complicated. But then, yeah, if you're not allowed to ever slip up.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing I learned from, there's a guy called Dan Savage, but he was just like, relationships are the one thing you're not allowed to fuck up, like when it comes to sex. So if you cheat once, you're out.
Yeah.
Or you break trust or whatever, you know, like the relationship's kind of
It's a lot of pressure.
Right? A lot of pressure.
So much pressure.
Yeah. Imagine if I
have to be perfect.
Every other thing in life, you're like,
yeah.
no, like you're just learning, you know, whatever. But yeah, it's wild. So I just like, obviously I'm not like gonna ever convince a bunch of other people to like think the way I think.
Totally.
But this is why, oh my God, this one's just fucked.
Bye, GoPro.
Yeah, maybe I think I'm gonna upgrade. I'm either gonna get a second phone or I'm gonna upgrade, buy the new like my main camera anyway. At some point I'm gonna buy the nicer one and then I'll use that one.
Oh, okay.
So it's just being a dick all the time. I wonder if it did overheat. Or maybe it just finished. Oops. It didn't give me any problems last time. But I have been going on to using like mainly these two.
Oh,
and then so this is nice to have like this backup of, it's nice to have all three as a backup.
Yeah.
If one just drops, I'm fucked, right? So even if this one fails
when
and
you're telling a
story, then I can use that one.
Oh, okay.
And, you know, whatever. So
did you just start with, so you just started with just
not the main one.
Oh, your main one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But I couldn't figure out like the lighting and how to keep everything in focus, and so super blurry. And then I felt like looking, I was like, this, I feel like I'm putting this out and then people think my other work's is going to be like this, and it's just, it's different.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it was definitely frustrating. But now that's gotten a lot better. But yeah, so I don't think that, I'm not going to convince other people like to keep.
I know, it's like hard because I think if I was, it's just wild because I'm like, I can see your view and then I think of myself in a relationship and I can see it because it goes back to like mother, like once I become a mother, it's like girls are not gonna, like my friend, she was like, I didn't want to have sex for like 6-7 months after I had a kid, and I didn't want to have sex when I was pregnant, so it was like a year, and I'm like,
people love having sex.
Yeah,
so it depends.
But it depends. But I'm like, but again, with all that, I'm like, I don't know. It's hard because I'm like, I really do. I want to be married. Like I want to have kids, and I want that. But at the same time, I still have that thought of you get in that rut of like the same thing, but. There are those individuals that I hope I am going to be that like still finds those times to let loose. Yeah. And
there is like there's couples that like Val, my French friend, I'm hoping he'll be on the podcast at some point, but he talks about in France there's so many different views. But he's like, some people are like, yeah, they're married, but they like every once in a while they like go let loose, like, okay, we're gonna go on vacation. If you fuck somebody else, go for it. Or they understand I'm in a period of time where I don't want to fuck, so like, go fuck somebody else. It's fine. Like, just only like as long people that value like you're my person forever, right? You know, I have a friend who I think that, like, him and his wife are kind of like in an unspoken, you know, kind of, maybe it is spoken, but it's just like, we're ride or die, but, you know, if you're gonna have a side piece here and there, whatever.
Would you ever do that?
I don't want to get married.
Yeah.
So,
like, would you ever be like, okay, how about this? Like, just like with one person, not a like written contract,
right,
that you have to go to the courthouse to get.
That's kind of I see long term, like
so,
one person. But then I'm also open if another person that I'm seeing comes around and is dope and they get along and then they want to hang out. Like, I want to be in a throuple at some point.
Oh, okay,
that's fun.
That's
But like, it sounds like a lot of work. But I'm like, well, I want to at least try it. Like, why would I not want to try it? Like, I have one life.
Yeah.
So what's it like to date two girls?
Yeah.
It'd be fun.
It
wouldn't be fun.
I came across like a throuple like TikTok, and I was like, literally, I was like in throuple TikTok for a while. I was like, what is this?
Yeah.
But I was like, he was living his best life, I'm sure.
Yeah. But there's also like people do think that, which is true. Like, I mean, I can't deny that. Like, if I'm in that situation, like, dope, I get to go home to two hot girls or whatever, right? Like, that's dope. But if you're a bisexual girl, you also have that same thing. You're like, no, it's dope for me. Yeah. I get to go home and get both my cake, or like whatever. I get to get both the things I like. So that's the way, to me, it works. Is like the girls are bisexual.
I always am like...
And I have had bisexual friends, when they date, they're like, I miss whatever the other one thing is. So like, when I date a girl, I miss dick. When I'm dating a man, I miss pussy. You know, whatever. Like, because they're like, they miss the thing that they were used to having when they're single, because they both, right? So that's what a throuple provides them, you know, because then they get both sides.
I just am like, and again, and maybe it's just because I'm like, how my brain's wired, versus girls that are in throuples. But I'm like,
Don't smell
how?
Whiskey?
Huh?
Don't smell whiskey.
I love whiskey. Yes, please.
Do you feel the mushrooms?
Oh. Probably not. Remember, like, jackpot.
Hell yeah.
Shrooms, dude. That was like so pretty. I just want to walk around.
Yeah.
Oh, the lights are.
We took Molly and mushrooms then too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was wild.
That was great. I just loved walking. I was like, I didn't really spend any money.
I'm gonna go this year, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I think it's. It's just gonna get bigger and bigger.
I'm like, I'm never gonna not go now. I'm like, that was so fun.
For a while before I even knew they were doing it, but I don't think they used to close so long. And I was never friends with Brandon as much. Like, Brandon never came over to our side, so I didn't know Cole that well.
I was.
But they used to do it all the time, like, for years. And I'm like, I'm so glad that I started doing it.
Yeah, it's so fun.
Jackpot, like, I don't give a fuck about
I heard it used to be bigger, too. I was like, even though, like, there was only a handful of us, it was so fun. Yeah, I was like, even it was my first time, I was like, I'm down with this.
But, like, I'm more just, like, going to bring my friends. I mean, like, there's lots of people who are like, no, we're doing football at the house. Like,
yeah. Oh, totally. But, it's just like, I was telling my mom, I was like, yeah, we close on Super Bowl Sundays at a sports bar.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Brandon will always say he's like, technically it's not a sports bar. He's like, I never wanted a sports bar. But it is a sports bar.
Cole went to Jackpot. I was actually really sad because I think me and you and like you and Cole were two people that like I never really knew until Jackpot.
Yeah. And
now you guys are like super close. And I'm like, so thank you, Jackpot. But I was sad, but Cole had to go to Rudy's one.
Yeah, it sucks. I love it.
So I had to go over there the other day because I was like, I miss you. He went to Jackpot last night. I was like, oh, I'm jealous.
Yeah.
Did you hear about Horseshoe Bend, though? They're going to open up that casino.
No way.
You didn't hear about that at all?
No,
not Horseshoe Bend, sorry.
No, Mountain Home.
Mountain Home.
Yeah,
sorry, that one.
No, I did hear that. It's like Horseshoe Bend. Like,
no. I get those confused all the time.
I guess it's about the same distance.
It's the same distance. That's why I get confused.
First, I thought you were talking about Horseshoe Bend in Nevada. I was like, what does that have to do with it?
It's too far. Okay.
There's something Lindsay did was they do this like paddleboarding excursion. They like do the river. Apparently, the river is like more lazy than the Boise River.
Wait, where is this?
Horseshoe Bend, like that.
In Nevada.
Yeah. That's like that has that epic like.
Yeah.
It's like around the Grand Canyon somewhere.
The Grand Canyon's in like.
No, it's not. It's like Hurricanes over here.
Oh, okay. I was like, what?
Yeah, I don't really know my geography that well, but it's somewhere down there where all the Acadians
somewhere
are.
over there.
Yeah, but apparently the river is like super lazy, you know, like way even less than Boise. And then so they just paddleboard and just like go through that spot.
Have you ever like floated the Crouch River?
No.
That was boring.
Really?
Don't do it. No, but it's like super freaking lazy.
But
like it's like probably like the Horseshoe where you're like.
The Horseshoe Bend's lazy, but it's like immaculate. There's like these huge canyons on both sides.
Horseshoe Bend's. I don't know. It's so boring though. It's not.
No, the other one.
Oh, the other.
Yeah,
Nevada.
Nevada, yeah. Actually, I did see a different side of Horseshoe Bend because, like, if you go up the mountains and then, like,
which Horseshoe Bend are we talking about?
No, sorry, this one.
I don't know which one. I know.
So now the Idaho one. So we went to the festival in the Idaho Horseshoe Bend. Me and Cynthia went to Connection. It was like 2 months ago.
Is this a new festival?
It's a local, like, basically Boise.
Okay, so it's like local EDMs kind of thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
They get cool. Like, they get some like surrounding Northwest, but it's no like
cool,
no huge names. But they've been doing it for like a decade or two, but it's all super small. They used to call it something else. And
interesting. Was it how many people do you think?
500 maybe.
Oh, okay.
300. No, it had to be more than 300. Had to be more than 300. It might be like 1,000 or 2,000. Actually, now that I think about it. Because I remember I thought it was going to be smaller, and then I was like seeing it, like when we were chilling in the day, it was like, oh, it's not that many people, and then at night I was like, shit, there's a lot of people, you know.
That's kind of cool.
They did have 2 stages. Actually, I think they had 3 stages, but we never went to the third. It's like way down there, but they had 2.
When was this?
Was
it recent?
Yeah, 2 months ago.
Oh.
Yeah, it was fun. I mean, like I'm not really
now.
into like EDMs a lot, but there were some artists that were super dope. Like, there's this guy that she was obsessed with, Random Rab, and she was just like, I'm just going for it, or like, we have to see Random Rab, and we were taking so many drugs all day, like ketamine, mushrooms, fucking like we took mushrooms in the morning, and she was up all night, and I slept a little, but like mushrooms in the morning. I mean, it's festival life. It's just like all the drugs, but so we're like.
Honestly, Josh, I was like, I think you're like my bad influence.
Really?
Yeah.
That's fair.
Cheers.
Yeah, so we're like, we should have napped, we didn't, but we'd get ready. But I just remember Random Rab played from like day to night set. He played for like it felt like 2 hours, but I was like tripping balls.
Yeah.
But it was like the time when it was just like just before sunset. And then he was still playing, and it's like dark, you know. So it was like a perfect transition for like when he was first started playing, which he was dope. I was like, oh, I get it. Like this dude is dope. I see why you wanted to come see him. And but then it was just like there was 80 people, 100 people before the stage. Where like everyone had enough space to dance. It was cool. Within like 40 minutes, it was like hundreds of people were just like mobbing. I was like, whoa.
Dang.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden I was like, he was still playing, and I like went to the tent for something, and I came back and I like got lost, and I was like, I don't even know where I am. I don't know where they are.
Really?
Yeah, and I was just like, I mean, it was drugs, so I was like tripping, but there were so many people, and it was dark, and I was like, Jesus Christ, like, did Cindy go to the other one?
Did you ever watch the Woodstock '99 documentary? I was just like, I think about that, and like we were just saying, and like trying to find people, like, just trying to find people, and like.
Dude, in big festivals.
Back in the day when you didn't have phones, you're like.
Well, most festivals, they don't work.
But, well, that's the thing. I'm like, how do you. They had like a little. The documentary, they showed like a little like or like, hey, this is where I'm going to be. Like, they post, people like would just go there.
I
and
think
be
that's
like,
how Burning Man must do it or something, because I don't think they smell like that either. But
a
lot of like tribes have their like banners, you know. So you have your banners, you look for the banner.
That's true.
Well, even when you go to a show, you know, so it's like say you go like the Ford Center or whatever, it's just like to look for your banner, like
Well, Bonnaroo. Have you heard that they label their stages like what, when, why? So when you're like texting your friends, you're like, they're like, where are you at? What? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, that's fucked up.
That's really
I'm like, that's so great.
Yeah. Dude, I think I went to one other I went to Bonanza, which is like small, moderate festival, and it was dope. But I've been to like a huge festival, Firefly, and it's like 7 stages.
Where's that at?
It was in Delaware.
Oh, okay.
There was like
We should go to
110,000 people or something. But I mean, it's just like, and when you're tripping, you're just like, what the fuck? Like you're just like looking.
Yeah.
I gotta pee. Let's take a break.
Hey, break.
Pause. Yeah.
She hasn't been on yet.
Mm-mm. Yeah, I asked her this if she wants to.
Are you gonna do it? Are you gonna come on the pod? Be in the pod.
Yes.
Well, at first I was like, so. I asked if she wanted to do it sober, like wait until I start drinking again to do it. And then
He's both be drunk.
yeah.
Because I wasn't drinking before it, and then I was like,
Yeah.
But I think it would be fun to use Shane.
Yeah, so we might do 2 with her.
To who?
Her best friend, Shanae.
Wait, where's Shanae? Why haven't I met her?
She's great.
She's
Yeah?
one of those that gets locked down in a fucking relationship and disappears.
Oh,
She like literally bailed out of like, so she was like going to the Steelers game yesterday and you pissed her off, and so she just like was like, fuck you, and just like opened the door and just like she was like,
Was it at a light or no?
no, it was
Oh, they were in the
Did
car.
you take
They
the
were in the
roll?
car.
in a car.
Oh, no.
And she was like,
Did she-
bitch, you're fucking stupid. And then he was just like, here, you might as well take these. And she's like, I should. And then just like grabbed them and then called me and was like, you want to go to the game? And I was like, yes, I do. And so he's
Jesus.
the best.
Yeah.
I'm surprised.
Audios to the guy.
Thank you. I wanted to say this on like camera too because it's so trippy. I did take mushrooms a couple times, always just mild amounts because I don't know if I can I don't know how I've been toying with like high like upping my dose.
How much do you?
I just took 3,
Oh, okay.
but they're like the 3, not 3 like actual mushrooms, just
Yeah.
capsules, right? What did I give you 2?
No, you give me 3.
3, yeah. And obviously it hits everybody differently. Like 3 is definitely enough to like light me up a little bit.
Come on in. Yeah, it's.
Shh, it's live.
It's not. I think it's dead.
Yeah, I don't really care. I mean, you can pop in and out. So like one, who was I with? Carrie, and then Kara popped in. But she's not really like on the like because the camera's kind of set up there, and then she was like off to the side.
She's more like she just doesn't want to get the
David?
camera. She's like,
David popped in on me and Lindsay's
oh really?
for a little while, and then but yeah,
David.
I really want it to be pretty like free flow. It's like it's not that. It's just a fucking podcast. Like
It's nobody.
I never wanted to be boring. I was saying I was like if the moment I take this way too seriously, I'm like I'm being a dick, you know. Like,
That's good.
But oh yeah, so it's only been recently where I notice like you come up in a conversation. You're coming up in like I start feeling the mushrooms, and I'm more aware of it because I'm not drinking. Maybe that helps too. So it's just
yeah.
So I'm like sober, and then I was like, oh, there they are, right?
Yeah.
And but I only know so I noticed it first in the conversation, and then it's just like it's really nice for getting lost in like this conversation. And then as soon as I like walk inside, I'm like, oh, there's like another world.
Yeah.
You know, it's just trippy. Like it gives you this kind of like oh yeah, like not everybody, you know.
I think for me it's colors.
Yeah.
Pure colors.
Yeah.
They're so much more vibrant. Like that's all for that aspect.
Yeah.
Like right now, like I'm noticing.
Yeah,
like,
these are enough to pop the colors.
I get a lot more like the details of stuff.
I notice
or,
especially when I go and pee, then like you go into a small space. Ooh, yeah. No. But I'm gonna keep toying with like upping my dose and stuff.
I've been interested in just microdosing.
Yeah.
Like I was talking to Carly about it yesterday, and we're like, it goes back to
try a few of those. It's just like
but it was like it goes back to you being a bad influence.
I don't think that microdosing is actually bad.
But I'm saying I don't feel like I did a lot of like drugs until well, like literally the bender that I was telling Jazz downstairs. I was like, I think the last time I was here was when we were like at the hot springs, and I remember literally
that was a bender.
One of my purest, one of my memories here was like walking up the stairs and seeing like the sunrise, and I was like, what time is it?
Yeah.
And I was like,
did you come Sunday night for the strip club, or did you?
Yeah, I was like Sunday through the hot springs on Monday. Yeah.
Because some
great.
people joined like Monday.
No.
And then they kept going.
Yeah. No, I was Sunday through Monday. I was in the backseat of I don't remember who was driving.
It was what's his name? Maddie's friend. Why am I blanking? I know him very well. Damn it.
So he was driving, but I was in the back seat, and I was like, I had my work.
God damn it.
I had my work computer on my lap.
I
was using Hannah's.
Thank you.
Like free, like her hotspot, and I had my laptop, my work computer, and my headset. Yeah, I was just like, I'm going. I am not. I have FOMO. I was like,
why am I drawing a blank? That's so stupid. But that was the first night that I met him, our first day.
Oh, okay.
And and I remember him being so high, like at the end of Monday, and he was just like, bro. He goes, I was like, you were right. He's like, dude, I'm so high. And
really?
He goes, I didn't even go home. He's like, I rented a hotel because I was so paranoid. And he's like,
shut up.
Yeah, he's like, he asked me if he could leave the coke at my house. I was like, what? I was like, all this? He's like, can I just leave it with you? He's like, I'm paranoid as shit.
I remember, I think we were on the way there, and he like pulls over to the side and just takes the line. And we're like, okay, let's go.
Dude, I don't know if I actually talked about this on the cast. Well, let's tell the guy. This is wild.
I want to hear it.
No, I don't think it did. This is nuts. So speaking of connection, we went on this, like bender, like that, lots of drugs.
Yeah.
So the next morning, we're packing down, and we start drinking and stuff, and we're just like drinking through packing down. I'm helping them pack down. I was like, dude, this sucks. I'm like, probably too drunk to drive home. But I was like, it's fucking the mountains, right? And I was like, I'll sober up by the time I get into town. So then we start doing, so I stopped drinking and I started doing coke. I probably kept drinking, I don't remember. But so we did a bunch of coke to like keep awake and sober up. And so we stopped at this one spot. And then I think we were just doing key bumps in the car because Cinda would drive the key in. So I was like, you know. And so I guess I think we have another bag and we were coming down Vista. No, we were coming down Chinden, turning into Orchard. And we're exhausted, but she's like, do you want to do some more coke? I was like, yeah, because we're going to like try to get some food. We'll stay up for a bit. Like it was middle of the day. We figured we were going to sleep all night.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like, yeah, like I was like, I think there's a little bit of the rest of this on the bag. And she pulls it out. Well, it was not coke, it was ketamine. And it's like intense ketamine, and we just like took these big bumps.
Shut up.
Driving down Orchard.
You're like, I'm fucked.
Bro, I don't.
What did you get me?
And she's just like, so ketamine's a horse tranquilizer, like where it came from.
Is it kind of like?
But they have a human grade now. Like it's not like as intense, but this is definitely body. Like you feel your body being like, oh.
Yeah. What is that like? So is it? What's the like? It's not
it's
like
more of a psychedelic, so it's very trippy. It's trippy. Called, they call it dissociative. Okay. So you feel, I don't know, it's weird.
Like out of body experience kind of thing.
Out of body.
Okay.
You see yourself in these other perspectives. And
like what you're saying, you were like, you felt. Okay. Mm-hmm. Interesting.
But like it also
you're
has this body. It also has this body like really heaviness. And I turn on it like as soon as I got to like my Albion Street, I was like, okay, at least we're a little bit safer.
Yeah.
Like, whoa, I was like, this is not coke. We just took ketamine. And like by the time I'm pulling into my alley, I was like, oh my god.
You're like, I need to park.
So we park. We like barely get out of the car.
What time is this at?
This is middle of the day.
You're like, this is noon.
2 p.m., right? And I'm like getting out of the car, I'm like, oh, like. And I was so paranoid because there's like neighbors around, and we're like stumbling out of the car. Cinda's fucked up. She climbs through the seat, and I'm like holding her up. She's like, "What the fuck?"
Oh my god!
So we like bust into the door, and Maddie God bless her. We hadn't really hung out yet, so she's my new
Just like,
roommate. And she was just like, "How was the festival?" And I was like, "What?" Basically, I tried to hold it together. And then I felt so paranoid because people were like thinking that I'm just driving like so fucked up, just showing up like stumbling out of a car.
We're like almost home.
But I was just like, I had to try to explain like what happened, and she's just dying laughing. But it was very like I could barely get up the stairs. It was like very like this is one you just need to be sitting for, and be like, oh my god. But it's really fun when it's like I like ketamine for like the conversation gets really fucking weird. Like me and Lindsay and Cinda and some other people, we took some ketamine and just like chit chatted like all day, but it's trippy. Like
really,
and then, like,
I love.
Yeah.
Feeling that.
Yeah. Have you ever tried it?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, definitely should try it.
Yeah.
I was thinking me and Cinda and Lindsay did a little bit of a podcast on one, and then like it just kind of went nowhere. And then
probably the podcast.
And then since I did the new setup, I'm like, I'm not gonna air it, so I'm gonna do like but I would do like ketamine and do it.
Well, I feel like you should do like like a bonus episode, where you just should just set it up.
Yeah.
And just like do like a Friday night when you're like just hanging out with friends. You know what I mean? Like and just like have it.
That's a
you know what I mean?
idea.
So it's like still. It's not like you're really doing the podcast.
Yeah.
You guys are just all hanging out.
Yeah.
But obviously the conversations are still great.
I wonder if I can do it and then just do like one camera, and then just like upload it. So it's like less work,
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like you just set this one up. Like when you're, let's say Friday night, you guys are like just like I would only say like 3 or 4 people max.
Yeah.
And then just have it set up and you guys just taking shots at your guys' little, you know what I mean? Just talking.
I do, I think down the road if I can grow this thing in, I'm going to pay somebody to do all the post. So then it's like, that becomes so easy.
Yeah.
It's just like, then it's just this. It's just fucking fun.
Yeah, you're like, I'm just hanging out.
Yeah, like, do we want to do the podcast this way? I'm like, for sure, let's do it, and then I'm like, all right, so this is your job for the next 8 hours, is you are the person in charge of this. And I can go do the other things.
Exactly.
Yeah. So,
okay.
Goals. Yeah.
Driving.
Yeah, but that's a good idea.
I don't know. I just feel like it's fun because it's like, it's just what we're doing. We're just just chatting. Yeah. Which you would be doing the same thing with just friends downstairs if you were just taking shots.
That's what I mean. This is where it all like came from.
I love it.
Like, dude, we had some good combos though. Yeah. Like, no matter who I was with, whether it's at the bar or whether it's just like hanging out with people at a party, you like have like really interesting conversations, really good where you're like, damn, that was fun. Like you just get lost in something.
But the thing is, it's like it's also you though. I have to give you that. Like it's a personality trait that you hold, that you have the ability to mesh so well with people that they feel open to.
But you have this elsewhere, is what I'm saying. Like, you can get into a conversation.
Yeah.
So I just noticed that would happen, and I'm like, dude, we should just record these. Like, what the fuck? Like, I can use this to make content.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, and obviously I was like I listen to podcasts a lot.
Yeah.
So listening to other people do shit, I'm like, dude, I can do it too. Like, and at the very least, it's fun for me, right? Like, and at the very best, it goes somewhere and it's dope. Well, if I could do this for a living.
Regardless, it's like quality time. I was like, hey, I'm hanging out with you. I'm like, on a Saturday night. You know what I mean? Like,
Do you want to come out on this?
I don't know. If they were talking about doing it, I was like,
dude, almost every fucking. I do have to paint more today, but then I was like, okay, if I can finish, then I'll like go out with you guys.
Do you really have to take?
Yes, I have to. I'm so out of time these next couple weeks.
Just do tomorrow.
I can't.
Why?
We're leaving tomorrow
for
Trinity. And then they're gonna be painting the. When
is your like goal to finish this by?
Now. No, it's already drug. So I want to start shooting in there, like taking pictures. So anyway.
Patience, go out.
Oh,
you only live once, right? She said.
No, I live like every week. No, I have this thing that happens where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do this podcast, and then I'm gonna do some other stuff. But always, we always party, and it's so funny because I'm not even drinking, and it still ends up being like a party or like.
Is it weird? Like, not? Do you?
I missed it
at all?
today. I wanted to drink today.
Oh, really?
Actually, with everybody here,
Yeah.
and painting, and like.
Just like a mellow, chill mood kind of thing.
I really want to like drink.
I always love when you're just chilling and like doing like a house project or anything.
It's so good to drink.
You're just like, I just want a little cocktail.
It's so fun to like drink and have fun.
But overall though, are you like, it's fine?
Oh yeah, it's good. Yeah. It's good for me. I'm pretty like very stoked on my like especially taking some mushrooms, but I've like determined I'm definitely gonna say yes as much as I can to social events. And
really?
Yeah. So I have been out a lot. Like
I feel like I was like, you already were social, so now I'm like curious. I'm like, is this like?
Well, it's the last time I did sober, I like became antisocial.
Oh,
like,
okay.
Right? So.
Oh, so regardless of like, if it's a drinking event, you'll still go.
Yeah.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Yeah, so I got a bar like.
Where you would have said no.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, okay.
But I think the mushrooms do help. But I do, and then also podcasting helps because like podcasting gets me in a really good like mode conversation, and like a lot of times it works out like this where you came over, my roommates are over, we're all like, let's all like hang out, and then when we go like, okay, what are we doing? Which they all like, we had plans anyway, or they had plans to go out anyway. But, I want to do this thing where I think I'm really hoping to have downstairs kind of done, and the podcast studio, and they'll have upstairs done with fire. So by like next spring, probably even through the winter, it's probably cold, but it's in the day, so you could probably have like the fire out here and stuff. So on a like decent winter day, and come out here in sweatshirts and have like the fire. That'd be fine. But regardless, I want to make Saturdays like party day. And I want to record 2 if I can. Like, I think it's fun
because it's like just friends too. So it's like everybody just come over, like hang out, let's chill.
So I want to do like, so Saturdays are like kind of party day, and then like people are in and out, and then like we're podcasting, partying, then we go down, whatever. Oh yeah, David's coming over because he's next too, blah blah blah, and then we do another podcast. And then it's like we go party, we're gonna do it. Yeah.
I like that.
It'd be such a good day. And then when I have my photo studio set up, it's gonna be like a man cave-ish, so it's gonna be heated, AC. I really want to find an arcade system like Cole has, like
so good. You should just you could probably just get it up, like make sure to keep an eye on restaurants that are closing.
Also, it's like do you know Dave Bacon?
No.
He comes in Rudy's, but
I don't know names. I didn't know Eric's name for I actually felt so bad. I literally, it was I want to say it was 2 months ago. It was very recent. Yeah. And I was just hanging out with him, blah blah blah. And I was like, yeah, I'm really bad at names. I'm really great at faces. He's like, what's my name? And I was like, fuck. I just I was like, I think it starts with a.
Oh no!
It was, I think, R or something. I thought it was like Rick or something. And I was like, which was close, Eric, Rick. But I was like, I think it starts with an R. He's like, no, and I was like, okay,
But it's easy.
And I felt bad because he just bought me a drink too, and I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, they're at the bar. I knew the bar regulars less as sir, but they weren't buying me shots.
Sorry, this is giving me I was tripping for a second. I was like, this is greedy. It's going through my glass.
There's a little the crown underneath.
Yeah, no, I didn't notice that, and I thought it was in it, and I was like, what is happening? Okay.
Oh,
maybe it's mushrooms.
Yeah. No, mushrooms are a bit trippy when you there are certain times they're a bit trippy, of course, but.
Oh, look at it. It's weird. Oh, okay. Sorry.
I was
definitely true.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, check this out.
Were you there that day when we were bowling and David was super adamant about the dude that he thought was off a movie? He's like, no, he is from that movie, and he is showing all of us, and we're like,
oh yeah,
kid. And then he went up and asked him. And then he's just
So
and he's like, no, that's not my name.
It's not me. It's not me.
We saw him the last time we were bowling too.
Shut up.
Yeah, they must like freaking.
He's a bowler. Pretty cool bowler.
He was just like, no, he's for sure this character. We're like, David, I don't think that's the dude.
I love that though. When you're just so like, so determined on one thing.
Yeah.
Because it's funny for everybody else, but like for you, you're just like, no, but like literally.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how. When I really trip, like full macro dose.
Yeah.
I've learned to like let go of things. Because, like, for example, trying to work, like, audio or something. You know, I'm like, ooh, I want to lighten the mood. Let me find this thing. And I find myself, like, I can't not get the Bluetooth to work. And I'm like, no, fuck it. Like,
Done.
the verses before, like, I could get, like, lost in it, you know? And then it, like, irritates you or,
I'm
like...
going to figure this
right.
out.
And then it sends you down this, like kind of, like, spiral, like rest, you know, I don't... It, like, fucks up my trip for a while. Because I'm like, you know?
So you're just like... But you found yourself like
I would find myself just like losing myself in that, not having fun anymore.
Yeah,
you know, like hanging out there. I'm trying to figure out the music, you know.
Yeah,
like so I just like let it go. And one time, I think it was the last time me and Lindsay tripped with Kiara actually. Where she was just like, we should put this music on, and I was like, I already tried. And she's like, how hard?
You got the goods.
She's You come like you like joined like half by the podcast now.
Got the weed.
But like we were trying to figure out music or something, and I just like let it go. And then Lindsay's like, "Why don't you like put the music on?" I was like, "I couldn't figure it out." And she's like, "Well, it can't be that hard." I was like, "You try." She's
here.
Like,
we'll hand it.
She's like, "Here," and then she's like, "Well, if you just," and I'm like, and then she's like, "Oh, I see," and I'm like, "Yep, nope."
Like, we're done.
Yeah, we're not even trying. And I don't know why things become so difficult when you're like tripping balls, but yeah.
Cheers now.
I was gonna say,
But like things seem so difficult, like working an app, working any sort of like, oh, it's so hard.
It's like I feel like whenever I'm tripping, I'm just like my phone is probably MIA.
Yeah, that's for the best.
It's definitely for the best. Yeah. Though iPhones do update, you can unsend messages.
Yeah,
so that's nice.
I didn't see that.
No way.
Yeah.
What?
I was like back in the day when you used to have to press the N button multiple times.
Or like airplane mode?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's actually, well, apparently you have to have the
you have to have the new update.
I need to update mine.
But you can
Doesn't it say unsent message on it? That's how Instagram is, right?
Well, in Facebook, I'm like...
I'm dying right now. Anybody want this? Take it away.
Turn me
But and you can also edit text messages too. So that's also nice. Yeah. So maybe you just don't unsend. You just like maybe just edit and then just put a period.
Period. And
period.
Huh. Yeah, I don't. There are definitely like situations where that would be necessary. Like I've sent my mom the wrong text.
I've been doing that a lot lately because I don't save save people now in my phone.
Why do you not do that?
I don't do it until like because I'm dating a lot of people, so I'm like, if it's gonna continue, okay, I'll put your number in my phone. But now it's coming to the point that I'm like, I'm messaging the wrong people because I'm not I'm not looking too much into the message. I just respond.
Have you ever said the wrong name in bed? Like fucking?
No.
I think I have.
I'm sure I've had.
I'm
I've been called the wrong name in bed once, and it was this girl I was seeing, and it was like her ex, and I was like, "Did you just call me Jed?" And she's like, "I'm so sorry." I was like, "It's fine." Like I know that.
It out.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I would have been like mortified. I would have been like, "All right."
That would have. I would have been like soft.
And I'm done.
We had been seeing each other for a while, you know. Not like see, you know.
Is this a twist on?
I think so. It's Twisted Teas.
Yep.
Yeah.
Can I have your Baker vape?
Yeah.
That was like...
There you go.
It's your turn.
Thank you. You do need a setup for 3.
I'm working on that. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway.
I'm sorry, just...
Oh, you're good.
No.
Oh, I'm gonna...
No, it's like, that's why I'm like, I wish there was like,
Yeah,
do I
we'll go
keep
for
my
it.
mic closer to you? So.
Yeah, you pass around. We're at like 10 minutes. I don't know. It's not really like a thing, but apparently it's a thing. What is this thing doing? Yeah, this one has been
Overheating?
being a dick.
Did you know Wiz Khalifa's in Ontario, Oregon tonight?
Yeah.
Really?
Last year was Snoop Dogg.
What was it last year?
Last year
I was,
Snoop.
well, I went there yesterday because I was going to get some.
It's at Hotbox.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's related to him, right?
Was
Wiz Khalifa
Khalifa?
is related to Snoop Dogg.
I don't think so.
I think he's his nephew.
No, he's not.
I don't know if
You?
someone
I felt like they're like the same. No.
Maybe like a
Snoop's old.
distant
How old
cousin.
is Snoop Dogg?
Old.
What age?
He's like 50s, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait,
If I'm that cool at 50, well, I'm not gonna get it.
Dog.
It's Snoop Dogg.
Wait, I want to just know his
No
age
one's gonna
really
be that
fast.
cool at any age as Snoop Dogg.
He is 50. On the dot.
Ask what Wiz Khalifa is to him.
Wait,
Is Wiz
what do I
Khalifa-
Google this?
Say, is Wiz Khalifa related to Snoop Dogg?
Wait, how do you spell
Just-
Wiz?
I don't know a phone on me.
No, like Wiz
We're all
Khalifa.
Oh yeah, you
Is
took my-
Wiz
Oh,
is Wiz Khalifa related to Snoop Dogg?
that makes me feel old when people do like that with them voice to text. I'm like, I don't.
No, he's not.
Really?
Yeah. No.
Huh.
Is Wiz Khalifa related?
Huh. I
Wait.
thought for sure he said on the podcast.
Never mind,
This
hold on.
podcast I listened to.
Snoop. Here we go. Hold on. That was the wrong thing. Or Wiz Khalifa is not related to Snoop Dogg.
Huh.
There were rumors that Wiz
Maybe
was the
they're friends.
nephew of Snoop Dogg.
I think
but,
he said
yeah.
he mentioned something on like
Maybe
the
they're, like-
podcast he was
Maybe
on.
they're just so
Uh,
close that he's like, yeah, he's my nephew.
Yeah.
I mean, like when you think of Snoop Dogg, it's like, who else do you think of as that big of a pothead? Wiz Khalifa.
Yeah.
You know.
And they probably hang out a lot. He considers he's like, I
Yeah.
consider you
I
my
already saw Wiz before when he came to Nampa. Well, he came
like in
here.
person
Yeah.
or like not performing. Sorry.
Yeah, but no, I like literally it was me, Natasha. This was probably when Natasha lived at Whitewater, so
Yeah.
you were there too.
Yeah.
You weren't at the concert, but we took a limo with Clay. It was like me, Carrie,
the Idaho Center?
Alejandra.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, we like took a limo there, and Natasha and Alejandra, they went backstage like on the party bus, and then me and Carrie like we're gonna go backstage,
Yeah.
but I was like Carrie went, but I was like I was like honestly no, like
Yeah.
they're just I was like it's Wiz Khalifa. I don't really care to go on your party bus, you know. Like I like it's cool to see you and watch you, but I don't really want to go on
Oh,
your
yeah.
party bus. But I went on X's party bus.
Who's X?
Who's X?
Like he died, but XXX.
Oh.
Tentacion.
Okay, yeah.
You know a few songs, but
You say that about songs that you think that I know. You did this on Carrie. Like, no, you definitely know this song. And you played it, and I was like, I still have not heard this. So, like,
Did you know this?
you just have to.
we do listen to different music.
Not
Like,
really.
Yes, we do.
Not really.
There has to be somewhat difference if you can say you have to know the song.
I'm just
and
14 years younger than you.
That's
all
what I
it is.
mean.
Wait, how old are you?
23.
20.
Yeah, you listen. You definitely listen to
How old are
different
you?
music. Than I do.
27.
So,
To think about this.
These are your
Um,
glasses. These are
those
cute.
are-
Those are really
Oh.
cute on you. I was like, okay.
Yeah, these
Yeah,
are
those-
cute.
Yeah.
Why the fuck isn't David here? That's the real question. I invited him. Like he said, he was leaving CUNA like
Those are really
hours
dope.
ago.
Where'd you get those?
They're Ray Bans.
Target? No, they're Target.
It says Ray Ban.
No. No.
Oh, it doesn't.
No, it's a Target glasses. I was like,
love those. I want to buy some.
yeah.
I'm like, you're coming home.
Dude, those look so good on you, though. I'm like,
No, I don't. Why
Yes.
do you, no, how? When?
Because you
Where?
just
I would
Still
never
all my
steal her
under-
glasses.
You're sitting in
I was
my
like,
underwear.
I honestly was about to be like, you take
You're sitting
that.
in my underwear and my shirt, and I'm probably never seeing these again.
Okay, actually, that's
Hey,
a lie.
I gave his sweatshirt. I gave your sweatshirt back though.
Dude, have you seen my? Thank you. Have you seen?
I actually had to get
Listen.
remover because I was like, I had makeup on it, and I was like, shit, it's his favorite sweatshirt. I was like,
Yeah.
I gotta make sure this is as wide as possible.
Yeah.
Just the Tide pens.
That's what I
Oh.
did. Yep, that's all I did.
I thought you said
No.
makeup remover. I was
I was going to go with deep, but I was like,
Have you seen my Space Rush sweatshirt by chance?
what?
It's black and it's like neon.
I need to just start asking
I've
around.
never, I
'cause
know.
People hang out.
I haven't seen you in like,
Last week.
oh, that was at Rudy's.
Yeah.
You're gonna give me your sweatshirt at Rudy's? Here's your
I
sweatshirt.
just didn't know if you've seen it.
No, I don't even know what you're talking about.
I haven't been home since like the podcast, so I haven't really looked, but I'll check again.
No, I'm curious.
I probably
Your, like,
do have
closet.
it. No, I probably do have it, honestly. Like, my
but
closet
I'm,
is
like-
so big, and all my sweaters are just
Shut
tucked in the
up.
back.
Yeah.
Like, they're just, like, because it's been summer, so I haven't, like, needed
Well, I have
my
so many
sweaters.
clothes for people. I'm like, sorry. I'm like, if you want it, just, I'm like, oh, look.
No, I probably honestly do have it. I don't know if I do, but
Yeah.
I'm the only, that was my favorite sweatshirt of yours, so.
You have really comfortable sweatshirts, though.
I have good taste in like clothes.
Yeah.
Do you see your shirt?
Dude, this I'm paid to do this. Actually, this shirt is dope. This is for Arrested Development fans.
I'm surprised you have different
Do
shirts
you
on
know
today.
this? Do you know this context?
No, I don't know comedies.
No. Yeah. So there's this like bananas. I don't. I actually don't know.
Bananas.
No, you have to know the show. But do you know
Are you
the?
trying to, like, explain it?
Yeah. It's super funny.
Okay.
Because a lot of people don't know Arrested Development.
No.
But like, so he works at this banana stand, and he's like, everything's a comedy. It's like all these famous actors in the show. So good. What's his name? Michael Cera. He's like
Okay.
in this thing in the banana
Don't
stand.
know who that is.
What?
You know Michael Cera.
You know? Yeah.
Super.
Jason Bateman. Jason Bateman's Michael
This is
Cera's dad. Yeah, he's
Who?
Jason Bateman.
Superbad.
And then
Super bad.
Superbad. He's in Superbad.
Okay, who is he? in
So I think you would
Superbad?
like. I don't know. I've never seen the movie. I
he's in
just
This
know
Is the
it.
End. He's in.
He is like, what's the other one? Is it Superstar? Or what's
Yeah.
that one?
He's in a
movie?
bunch of movies too. Anyway, I
Him.
finished.
He looks like a. Wait, I have to show her.
Oh yeah.
He looks like a nerd. He's the nerd guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
We got him.
Anyway, so he's
He's
always
the best.
working in this. He's always working in
Banana
this banana
stands.
stand.
What
And he's-
are they just selling bananas
Yeah,
on a
on like the
stick?
boardwalk, like chocolate bananas or whatever. Different chocolate, yeah. And
You
then
don't have any dipped on
he's
yours,
like,
so.
he's always like, "Can I get some money for this project at school or whatever?" To his grandfather, and his grandfather's always just like, "There's always money in the banana stand," and he's just like only making like dollars, per banana, and it's like this ongoing bit. And so then the other dude, Jason Bateman, works there, and same problems. He's like, "There's always money in the banana stand." He's been saying it for 20 years, like whatever. And then he burns down the banana stand one day because he's so pissed at his dad. He's like, "Fuck you." And he's like, "I'm not working there." And the guy's just like, "No." He's like, "There's money in the banana stand." He's like, "I put $1 million lining the walls of the banana stand." And he just burned it down.
I would actually be convicted of murder.
It's so funny. And then that's like, I don't know. But so there's always money in the
Wow.
banana stand. So this shirt is very funny.
So funny.
Arrested Development.
It's a great show. Do you like Schitt's Creek?
No, I don't watch comedies. I do not watch. I'm like sitcoms, comedies. No,
Do you not
Not
like
for
to
me.
laugh?
no. I like drama.
Do you like?
horror.
Do you not like
horror.
to laugh?
Do you like?
No, I love laughing.
Have you seen New Girl?
Not you.
I tried.
You guys need anything for convenience store?
Do it. Oh,
Yeah, I need you to take those overalls
Ooh,
off
those are
because I have to wear them.
cute.
dude. Yeah.
I think I want that to be my outfit tonight.
Those are really cute.
Yeah, can I wear those downtown?
Don't give it to her. She'll steal them.
I have other clothes if you want to wear these.
No, I brought a whole bag.
Okay. I'm like, did you go home?
I
No.
did.
Okay, so I was gonna.
I did go home. Yeah, I brought. That's my bag. That plastic. Can you actually bring it to me?
Yeah.
Because I'm a lazy piece of shit.
Did you guys need anything from the store?
Oh.
Your plastic bag. What are my
Everybody,
options?
these are the overalls of which they speak to everybody, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I was thinking. I brought this dress with black, like Doc Martens,
Oh,
or
that's
the
cute.
platforms, or like black pants, and then this, like, it's not a turtleneck, but it's like kind of a turtleneck. I don't know what it would be called. Oh. like
That's
it's like
cute.
lower, like with jeans and like
The
that.
ducks.
Right, I feel like this is more of a vibe.
That's cute.
I just like very fascinated how my podcast just turned into like a fashion show.
I was like, I like that.
What is happening?
Are you gonna be hot though? That's the only thing I was like
It's gonna be
thinking.
cold, you know. Once this
But
like,
dancing though.
am I gonna dance though? Probably. You're right.
Do you
That's the
dance?
only. I don't know.
This
I was just like,
I never like
when you're
dance.
inside, I feel like it's just hot. So I'm like,
yeah, I know they want to go to like Hump and Hannah's, which that's a pretty big bar, and the bathrooms are always freezing cold for some
I
reason.
had to paint.
yeah.
And then I think Cinda finished.
What?
Probably not, actually.
There's no way that the painting is done.
The whole garage.
Dude,
Yeah, there's still like half the
It's
ceiling.
literally him and Cinda are just painting, and I'm just in the background dancing.
Here I am.
Yeah. It was like
I am your
Kara's like, oh, you paint, and she's like, what I mean by that is,
I am
I'll hang
just
out.
here. I am your entertainment.
Sit here and annoy you all pretty much.
I think I'm gonna go out with you guys.
Please,
Why not? Like,
Please, that'll make me so
I don't really
happy.
care. In my comfies, but whatever. It's fine.
I mean,
So
like, what
cute, though.
time is it? It's like, you
It's
guys aren't
really
going out
early.
now.
No.
I know I'm not driving home right now though. There's no
It's
way.
only 7:30.
That's fair.
I also need to like probably do something with this.
Yeah. We should wrap this up because I need to start painting. I do want to go like get some food.
I don't want to wrap it up.
I don't ever want to wrap it up, so I never do.
Ew.
Ew.
Gross.
Ugh.
I love how you say ugh, and I'm like, ugh.
I know.
Ugh.
What do you say? Do you just not?
I'm like,
I don't ever say ugh to anything. Keep going. Keep going.
So you're and Josh is or how do you do it?
No, I was just pronouncing. You know, I was just pronouncing what ugh is. Like ugh.
And then I'm ugh.
just like,
Is that a mouse? Like, did a mouse chew a hole in the wall right there?
No, it's for drainage.
That makes sense.
If there was a mouse, he would probably freeze. He'd
What
probably
if there
make his
was a
way
hole
inside.
in
be
the
cute though. Just drop to his death.
Hopefully, a mouse is still getting that mice. Jesus. Mice.
Moses.
All the mouse.
Moses. All those.
Hopefully, the mouses of the mouth.
All right. Cheers, guys.
Yeah, so we're
Cheers
going
to
out,
a
right?
Freaking Saturday, and to meeting you.
I'm reading you.
I like you a lot.
Yes.
You guys
Sad
never
this is-
met?
No.
No.
I know. I don't think we have. When and where?
I know. It's
I
like I
don't
feel
really-
like there had to be a spot that like I was with Josh.
You
and,
were, like-
you.
No, never.
Huh. What about the day that we went the bender? You were there when.
That's what I'm saying. I was like,
you guys
you
came
had
over.
to be there.
What do you mean?
You came over mid bender.
When? What day?
It was like a Monday. And we had
It's
all,
like a-
we had all been doing coke all
like what
night.
bender? I have one like every
There's-
week.
Yeah, I was
No,
like,
like the epic one.
I know. The one that I think of all the time.
Yeah,
So
it was
great.
Like, it was like Emma, me, Severo, Natty.
Oh, when I came over and it
you
was
guys
like
came
Oh,
over.
wait, I did. Yes.
You guys
You came. No, I saw her when I was pretty much leaving.
Okay.
Because she was coming.
I don't
It was when
remember
we
this.
came back. It was when we came back from the hot springs.
Yeah, we went to Hot Springs after we'd been at the strip
Oh,
club.
And
you guys
she
invited me
had-
and I didn't come.
Yeah.
And
You
you
popped
came
in.
you came that
There's no
evening.
way. Yeah.
Yes, I'm
Peyton came
coming all
over.
back around now.
Everyone came over. Like Peyton came over at one point.
You did
came
come.
over at
I
one
did
point.
see you because I was like, I was
Did I-
leaving.
I didn't live here anymore, no?
No, I was leaving, and she was just.
Walking in.
You were just coming
Yeah.
to the house,
Huh.
so it's like passing.
Yeah.
I'm kind of putting dots together.
I'm not.
Yeah,
that's all.
That was such a big. There was like 12 to 15 of us that just like did not sleep for 2 days.
I was probably on a bender too, huh?
Yeah.
Why didn't we go to the hot springs? I'm curious. I was like, why didn't she go?
I don't like the.
Oh, you just don't go.
I literally am the most annoyingest person ever. Like, I'll get in the hot springs and I'll sit in it for like,
You're
you
like,
know,
I'm done.
Yeah, like I get too hot.
Yeah,
and then, like, I
come
can't
over
even,
it.
like, hot tubs for me. Like,
Yeah.
I'll get in the hot tub, but like, I'm gonna like want to get out like 10 minutes later. This isn't fun anymore.
Yeah.
I'm just
It was
hot and
fun
sweaty.
I don't know. It was fun. We were so fucked up.
And then
We were
you just
always
get
so
fucked up, and
rowdy.
it's always so far. Like Kirkham is so far.
I do hate how far. Yeah. Well, we went to Snively.
But,
Oh, that's
Snively's
fucking far too. It's
That's
like 2
like
hours.
yeah.
120.
It is a far
I grew
drive.
up
Any
over
drive.
there, Josh. That's all I like. That's the only hot
Yeah.
springs I've been to my entire life besides Kirkham. And I went to the fort.
That must be so hard growing up where you just go to hot
Oh.
springs anytime you want.
I didn't though. It was out there.
I hate this.
I never had any fun.
I had to drive 20 minutes to the beach every day. And I didn't even do it.
Snively isn't even a fucking beach. It's
No,
like
no,
the
it's like-
tiniest little thing. And dude, one time
We
I
didn't have any
went.
hot springs. So
Dude,
like,
one time I went and I was like underage. Like me and all my friends were minors.
Yeah.
And there's just this couple and they just have a bottle of Fireball. This woman, butt ass naked. I'm not lying. It was the worst thing of my life.
Seems pretty standard for hot springs.
Oh, I invited Riley over, the girl. Is that okay? Like, you know who I'm talking about. Riley Dolan.
Yeah.
Hello?
I know multiple Riley girls. But I think I know you.
Where are you?
Alright. Cheers to all.
Cheers.
I love
And
you.
that guy Josh
love you.
is.
Yeah, I gotta make some paints happen.
Here I am. It's 7:30.
Nobody's